Your phone is in your chair.
Oh, yes. Yes.
You're sitting on it.
Yes.
It's okay.
Well, I won't sit on it. But,
Who needs a phone?
oh, that's right. Like somebody called me during the last interview, and it starts vibrating. I'm going,
Your
okay,
butt
not now.
was vibrating.
Not now. My butt was vibrating during the interview.
Okay.
We are on filmsgonewild.com. My name is John Wildman. I'm the editor-in-chief of Films Gone Wild. Right now we're at the Naples International Film Festival, and we're going to talk about a documentary that I'm a big fan of. Jimmy and the Demons is the name of the documentary. And let's introduce ourselves.
I'm Cindy Meehl, and I'm the director of Jimmy and the Demons.
And I'm Guzzi Grashow, wife of Jimmy. I guess one of the subjects of the movie.
Yes, you are. Our audience likely has not seen the film as of yet, so introduce us to Jimmy and the Demons.
Jimmy and the Demons is about an artist named Jimmy Grashow, and he was commissioned to do a piece by a man who's a major art collector. He's also Catholic, and he was wanting something, I think, with a religious theme, basically. And Jimmy's Jewish, and he decided after a year of coming up with ideas, he was really thrilled when in his notebook appeared this picture of demons and Jesus walking through them and carrying this big cathedral, and it's quite a huge piece. And he decided to carve it out of wood, which was something that he hadn't really done before. He had done other forms of art. He's very famous for cardboard sculpture. He did a ginormous cardboard sculpture of the Trevi Fountain in Italy that was like life size, that traveled around the country. And anyway, so that's kind of what it's about.
You know, it's one of those, because I've thought about this movie a lot since I saw it, and he is one of those subjects that you could have a miniseries documentary about. Frankly, there's so much with just his art. There's so much with his life, with you, and I hadn't thought about it prior to watching the film, because I was lightly familiar with Jimmy and his work, but not to the extent. It's one of those films where I talk about documentaries. You go, like documentaries either are I had no idea, or I have a good idea. Oh no, actually I had no idea, right? And this is that second one, right? And what I think is wonderful about it is that you give us so much detail within his art, within his process, but you also capture a moment. And what I think is so emotionally resonant, especially watching the conversations of the two of you together and seeing him at one point, when he hits this disappointment, and it breaks your heart watching it, because by that point you so successfully put us next to him, in his process, that you go, do not do that to him. This is our guy, right? And so I would love for you to start off talking about, your approach to it, because again, your entry could have been a million different ways. So talk about what you did.
What did I do?
Cindy, what did you do?
Well, you're right that it could have been a series. And at one point we thought about that because we had so much footage, and there are so many things that aren't even in the film that are hysterically funny or crazy profound, very moving. And I guess at the end of the day, we didn't make a series because it's so expensive to make a series. So anyway, but I knew Jimmy and Guzzi. We were good friends, and this was not going to be a feature film. I was just really I decided I want to go over and film a little bit for him, because it was such a different project that he was doing. And I knew, I just described it, I said, think of the agony and the ecstasy with Michelangelo painting the Sistine Chapel. It's like that, but think of Billy Crystal playing Michelangelo, because he's very funny and he's very smart. And my husband and I, good friends of theirs, we had a small group of friends that, I like funny people and I like smart people. And Jimmy and Guzzi check those boxes. And so I was just going to do a little short thing, and then after 2 days I was so obsessed with what I had captured on film that, and I showed my editor who edited this film I did called Buck, which is probably one of my most famous films. And hopefully this will be my most famous film, because I think this is my favorite film. And she was just blown away. I said, it's not just because they're friends, right? And she said, no, this is really good. This is amazing. On camera, they are never different. What you see on camera is exactly who these people are. And that's rare to find as a documentarian. So did that answer your question?
I want to talk to you now.
I got to talk to her.
Well, here's the thing. That, I often talk to subjects, participants in films that are the primary, they just don't happen to be in, but the film is about them. And I talk about the trust that they have with the filmmaker. And, because you go, it's, by this point, we all expect our 15 minutes of fame. We all expect to be on camera at some point, because that's just the way life works now. But it's very different when a filmmaker is camped out with you, or they're always there, or they're doing a thing. Now, this is a little bit different because you were friends prior, but you still have these wonderful, if a camera wasn't there, private moments with the two of you talking about what you're doing, and even just a moment, like just a moment on the beach where you find like the driftwood. They're just lovely moments where you go, well, this would be wonderful for the two of us. Oh, Cindy's here. Okay, she's still here with us, right? So talk about how that was for you.
Well, I don't know why, John, but it wasn't difficult. For some reason, I guess it wasn't difficult for Jimmy and me. I think because we're very involved with our friends and our community. We don't lead solitary lives. Our home is very open. So just thinking about it right now, I think that has a lot to do with it. We kind of welcomed it. It wasn't difficult for us. And then I started to realize, hey, if I say something really stupid, Cindy's not going to use it. If I really fuck up, it's going to be okay. And I think, and Jimmy he just didn't care. He was like, he's always been his own person, he just, so it was easy for him.
And I have to say, and this is the thing that as I deconstructed, dissected myself on why it affected me, because I told you guys, freaking made me cry. Damn you, Cindy. Right? But Jimmy also, the two of you, Jimmy, those moments where he's with, he has to have somebody like drill a hole through the body of Christ, and to get this lighting thing, and of course, you can
terrifying.
tell, it's just terrifying to him, and yet the thing that's amazing that comes through is how much he so appreciates the talent of the guy he's going to, and how much he it's not like he's just going to, I hope that guy goes away. He's going, no, he is amazing. He's one, and he's so generous in that, and it's not just that one. There's 2 or 3 instances of that, and you go, this is a guy who I love it when artists, like, they open up the drawers and you go, oh, this is something I did 20 years ago. This is something I did 30, and you go, yes, I remember that one. And I remember that one. And you go, and so this is a guy who's got decades of amazing art installations or whatever, and yet he still looks at someone else and gets the appreciation for what they accomplish.
Absolutely.
And again, so that's a guy that you go, you feel protective of. Right?
No, you're absolutely right. You caught it. He was extremely, with all of his success and talent, he was an extremely humble person. And if you met him, it really came across, and it came through in the movie. But one of his greatest traits was he wanted other people to feel good about themselves. That was what he wanted. He wanted you to know you were conducting a great interview, or someone else is cooking a great meal. He was very generous with his feelings.
Well, I'm the part where he's doing the class, and he's doing what's the performance hall, and the kids with the and again it's and you go, and again it's like a thing of, well, it's one thing to try to teach young people or kids or anybody the joy of creation of art. It's another thing to be someone who just can open themselves up, and you cannot help but be caught up in that maelstrom of the joy of it. And again, it's a thing. But now I want to go back to you, because who knows how many terabytes of footage you had to then whittle this thing down, and I'm curious. At some point, was there a moment where it was either during interview, during follow, or in the editing bay where you go, oh, this is actually what the movie's about? I was kind of thinking it was being about this. I thought it was this way, but no, this moment now has kind of informed me, no, this is actually what this thing is about, really. Did you have a thing like that?
I think, well, for Toby and I, she was the editor. And we would watch all the footage together. She would come to my house. We could put it up on the TV. And the way we have this great system is you can just mark things right on the computer as it's playing. It plays on the TV. And normally, and we've all said this, it's like you're lucky if you can find, that jewel in an hour of footage. And if you look at the notes that are on the computer, it's solid little green dots or little, it was just like every other thing that came out of his mouth was just that gold. And so that's why we needed to do a series. There was just so many things. But the theme seemed to be consistent, is that Jimmy, he's so giving and he's so loving to his friends and everyone, and he still did have that insecurity that drove him, and the love, but the passion that he had for his work, for his family. I mean, unprecedented how much he loved every grandkid. This woman right here, incredible. But that theme of love and just giving and being passionate, having a passion in life, like he was never bored. The man had ideas coming out of his head like crazy all the time, and he always had 10 other things he'd be talking about, and I want to do. And one of the things he wanted to do was, because he did the cardboard art, he wanted to write tolerance in cardboard, because tolerance was a huge word for him, as he saw, he gave so much love to people, but he also saw how intolerant, the world can be.
I want to finish with you.
Okay.
And it's this. We have this wonderful film, and you're doing a film festival tour, and so you have the opportunity to go city to city with this. Audiences so vastly different here that they are in, say, Queens, or they are in Indianapolis, or they are in Memphis, or they are, and so many of them, like myself, that best case knew of his art a little bit, worst case never heard of him ever.
Right.
And you get to experience that with them, and then have them talk to you, and so you get to have these moments of little moments of celebration of a life and a love. Is this fun for you? Or is it a little bit, well, Cindy wants me to go. Okay, fine, I'll go. What is this experience like for you now?
It's very bittersweet, I have to say, because Jimmy's not here.
Yeah.
But I think it's wonderful. I love that Jimmy's message is getting out. Do you know what I mean? I think it's an incredible message. And as you said, every place is different. But overwhelmingly, to me, the response to the movie is how incredibly inspiring it is, and how inspiring this person is, and what his message is, which I think will continue. I mean, from an early age, he felt he was, when he tells his story about when he's in kindergarten and there's the bell with the clapper, and the
Yes.
kindergarten teacher criticizes him because it's not hitting the sides.
Right.
That stuck with him his whole life because she was shooting him down. And Jimmy, he wanted to bring people up, and he felt that was the way that creativity could soar. Just like the cathedral soaring, and, with the bird at the top reaching for the sky.
I'll finish with this. I lived in New York for about 6 years because I was a publicist at Lincoln Center. And I'll tell you one thing that I was watching going, holy crap. I wish I knew them. I wish I could have been in Fire Island. Because I would visit. Oh my God, they were the best people to know and to hang out with, and watching you two, as a couple, I go, oh, damn, everybody who was part of your universe, yours and Jimmy's. What a freaking gift. I mean, just you guys.
Thank you. That's very generous of you. Thank you very much. You're always welcome to visit, by the way.
I am there.
Please.
Because I always say, like, whenever someone asks me to do, like, a film festival in New York City or whatever, I'm like, Renee Zellweger and Jerry Maguire, they had me at Hello. I'm there in innocent.
We want you to come visit us.
I will do that.
The studio is a sacred place.
Oh my
We'll
God.
take great care of you.
Now this is the best interview ever because I have this on record. Again, the film is Jimmy and the Demons, and again, it is. If you have any chance to see it, go see it. Right now, it's screening at the Naples International Film Festival. It's been great talking to you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you so much.
I live around the corner from them. We'll all.
Oh, yeah. We're not kidding. We're not kidding.
No, I'm seriously. I'm emailing. I'm going.
You have no idea how we will take care of you.
Look, there's Jimmy. Just like,
Yeah.
Oh, yep.